Hey everybody. So I may have clickbaited you a little bit with this title, but you know what? The issue is extremely important, and it's important to passengers and it's important to drivers, and it's a question worth asking. And that is, who is actually the CEO of Uber, okay? And I'm not talking about Dara. I'm talking about who in the heck is over there making the decisions every day. Who's making the decisions as far as what the prices are for passengers, what the pay is for drivers, the future of Uber, and just about everything else. And I suspect that a lot of these decisions are most likely being made by artificial intelligence. More and more every day, we're seeing it. We're seeing the squeeze that passengers are paying. Okay. We're seeing the squeeze that drivers are having to suffer through as far as what we are being paid. And it really makes you wonder, is artificial intelligence the real leader, for lack of a better term, over there at Uber? Okay. Has Dara taken a back seat to AI? And sometimes it feels that way. So I think you're going to want to stick around and hear this. And I'd love to hear everybody's opinion. And, drop a comment. Let me know exactly what you think and who you think is running, the Uber apps. So think about this for a second. Uber is rapidly transforming itself into an AI driven platform, from dealing with passengers to dealing with drivers to its customer service. Almost everything is being controlled by artificial intelligence. Okay. And it's a bit much. I mean, back in April, the Uber CTO revealed that they blew through their entire 2026 budget for artificial intelligence. Okay. They went through their entire budget in 3 or 4 months for the entire year of 2026 when it came to, dealing and developing artificial intelligence systems. So this tells us something. This tells us that they're ready to really let AI run this company and maximize their profits. And they're going to pinch people on both ends. They're going to go after um, passengers and they're going to go after drivers. Okay. They're going to charge drivers more and they're going to pay driver or they're going to charge passengers more and they're going to pay drivers a lot less. And there really isn't much anybody can do about it. I mean, think about this for a minute. With the onslaught of these predictive pricing algorithms and surveillance pricing and all that kind of stuff, these companies, and it doesn't matter what company it is. Right now, we're talking about Uber, but it could be any company. They are really narrowing down what people are willing to pay for a product or a service, and they're getting so good at it that it's almost like a micromanagement situation where they're charging pennies more for a ride just to increase a ride by a penny or two, and then doing the same thing on the other end of it with drivers. Okay. And think about this for a second. If you're the passenger, okay, if you're a passenger with Uber or Lyft or any of these apps, you're not going to notice a penny here, a penny there, 10 cents here, 10 cents there. And the same goes for drivers. We're not going to notice if a ride is paying a nickel less today than it did yesterday. And we're most likely going to take that ride because we're going to look at it and we're going to think, okay, even if you do notice it, okay, it's still in the realm of what I should be taking. But at the end of the day, it's the AI system that Uber is using, okay, that is squeezing everybody on both ends. And at some point, when does the system break? Ask yourself that. When does the system break? How much strain can Uber take on both ends before passengers say, you know what, I'm not paying that much money, and drivers say, you know what, I'm not driving for that little amount of money? All right, so ask yourself this. Why is Uber and you know all these gig app companies, why are they going down this road? And the answer is simple. It's because they want to increase profits, and they see the quickest and easiest way to do that is to get rid of the human element of their business and bring in the AI models. Okay. I think they're looking at people, whether it be drivers, whether it be coders, customer service reps, whatever it may be at these companies. They are looking at them and they're saying to themselves, okay, where can we increase profits? Well, it's hard to keep raising prices for passengers. Okay. But what they can do, they can get rid of people, lay them off, bring in AI models to make decisions, to write code, to handle customer complaints, driver assistance, customer assistance. They can use AI to handle all of those issues, and they don't have to pay people to do it anymore. Okay. But I think it's interesting that they went through their entire budget for 2026 in just a matter of months. And it seems that maybe these AI companies like OpenAI and Anthropic and Gemini, whatever it may be, Google, it seems that they're a little bit more expensive to use than these companies have anticipated. And I find that interesting. I think it's a little bit amusing. I don't understand why they don't see this is going to be the case with autonomous vehicles. I've said it many times before. I think these autonomous vehicles are going to be much more expensive than they realize. They're going to be much more expensive to maintain. They're going to be much more expensive to operate 24 hours a day. Okay. To operate a vehicle 24 hours a day, where all you're really doing is taking it off the road to clean, to do maintenance, and to fuel, whether it's through electricity or diesel or gasoline, is going to be outrageously expensive. The wear and tear on that car is going to be insane, and I don't think any of these companies are thinking about that, plain and simple. All right, so why should any of us care about AI doing any of this with Uber or any other company? It's simple. First off, when AI seems to be in charge of setting prices for passengers and drivers, it seems that AI's main goal isn't to, I guess, take care of those passengers and take care of those drivers. Its main goal is to make money for Uber, plain and simple. When you don't think that programmers are sitting down when they try to teach these models and say, hey, you really have to take care of passengers and make sure they're getting the best deal. Or do you think they're sitting down and telling these AI models, hey, when you look at a route, try and pick the route that makes Uber the most money? And I think it does the same thing with drivers. I mean, in my opinion, you can be rest assured one thing. Whenever Uber routes a driver to either pick up a passenger and take a passenger to their destination, I feel like they're always going to route us the way that maximizes Uber's earnings, plain and simple. And when you look at this and ask yourself, why does this matter to me? It doesn't matter if you're asking as a passenger or if you are asking as an Uber driver. It doesn't matter. Ask yourself this: does Uber or Lyft or any of these gig platforms, okay, do any of these companies have my interest at heart? And the answer to that question, I think, is simple. I think it's no. They want to please their customers and they want to keep their drivers semi happy because they need us right now. But more importantly, what they really need to do is show a constant progression and uptick in earnings. Okay. It's what drives Uber to do everything that they do, in my opinion. Uh, it's all about that stock price and managing that image of being a new high tech company that's constantly growing and pushing the boundaries and all that stuff. And it's one of those things where I think Uber and Lyft and a lot of these companies are they're starting to walk a very thin line when it comes to both their passengers, their customers, and their drivers, who are also their customers in a way. You know, I know as far as drivers are getting to the point where a lot of drivers are asking themselves, "Hey, is this profitable for me?" And many are coming to the conclusion that no, it's not profitable, and they're stepping back from it. Let me know if you were a driver in the past, what made you stop driving Uber? Okay, was it the cost? Was it just the wear and tear on your vehicle? What was it? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you were a passenger, and you stopped using Uber and switched to Lyft or Empower or any other of these apps, let us know that. If you're an Uber passenger or were an Uber passenger at one point and you decided to stop using Uber, let us know why. Drop a comment and let me know exactly why you switched and what company did you switch to. Did you go to Lyft? Did you go to Empower? What's going on? I'd love to hear from passengers too. So please drop a comment. All right. So what happens next with all of this? Where is, Uber and Lyft and a lot of gig app platforms going to go when it comes to artificial intelligence? My opinion, they're going to double down on it. They're going to invest much more money in it, and they're going to invest much more time and try and develop more partnerships with, all kinds of different companies, IBM, Microsoft, you name it, they're going to dive deep into it and really try and push artificial intelligence into the limelight. And it is just going to grow and grow and grow. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think part of the reason why, and a big reason why, is a lot of these companies, okay, especially Uber, they want to be on the forefront of artificial intelligence. It's the catch term right now. Everybody wants to be out in front with AI. They look at it and they think it's going to be the wave of the future and it's going to increase their profits. And that's what they're doing, plain and simple. I was reading an article where Uber has recently, let me check my notes here, has recently partnered with Pony AI and has announced plans to deploy more than 2,000 taxis across Europe and the Middle East. And you think to yourself, 2,000, that's not a lot compared to how many drivers are online there. But think about it, that's just a start, okay? If they can use autonomous vehicles to show investors that they're increasing profits because they're not taking money out to pay drivers, or maybe at some point insurance rates go down because AVs have less accidents, according to them. These are all ways that they're going to use artificial intelligence over the next 5, 10, even 50 years to really squeeze every last ounce of profit that they can. Okay. They're going to squeeze it from the passengers. They're going to squeeze it from the drivers, eventually erasing the drivers from the whole system. Okay. Um, and it's sad. It really is sad. Think about it. What are all these people going to do? That's 2,000 robotaxis that are taking jobs, taking trips away from drivers. Okay. What are they going to do? They're losing money right there. And at some point, I feel like these governments are going to have to step in. Okay. They're going to have to step in and they're going to say, look, wait a minute. Roads are made for people to operate vehicles, whether that vehicle is a bicycle or a car. They're made for us to operate vehicles on. Okay. And I don't know about you, but I can remember all my life being told that a driver's license was a privilege. Who has the driver's license in an AV? Or does the AV just have the right to be on the road? Does that autonomous vehicle have a right to be out on the road? There's no driver, there's no driver's license. Who's responsible? Is Dara going to go to prison if there's, a case where somebody is killed? No, nobody's going to go to prison. Somebody's going to pay somebody's family a boatload of money, and they're going to say, so sorry, so sad, let's move on. So it's one of those things. I think that society really has to take a long, hard look at this entire artificial intelligence situation and this autonomous vehicle situation and really ask ourselves, do we want it? Do human beings benefit from it? And I don't think we do. I don't think, as time goes on, I think people are going to realize that it is a mistake and that it's not going to be a mistake that's easily rolled back, plain and simple. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'd love to hear your opinion on all this. So whether if you're an Uber passenger, if you're an Uber driver, please, by all means, drop a comment and let me know what you think. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Thanks.